Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you, and namaste, and welcome to the Blub World Web Talks 86th edition. In the last 85 episodes, Blub World has engaged more than 1,000 school leaders on this very platform to share their ideas, opinions, innovations, and what all new and exclusive that they're doing within their own K-12 education space, or typically schools. So in the last 85 talks, we have talked on various issues, various topics, various problems that schools are facing on day-to-day operations, on the new ideas and experiments schools have been doing. So we've basically tried to build an ecosystem of ideas. Because once something like a corona or a pandemic comes to the human race, we as a race start to find solutions, start to find innovations, which can give us a better life in the coming times. And as educationists, abhi tak we were supposed to do one thing, which was to decipher knowledge or to deliver content. Now we just got a new responsibility with this pandemic, is to create the knowledge bank that the world would need in the future. Because what you can observe, what you can see within your ecosystems, nobody else can. So this is the time when we should actually be sharing the best practices, the knowledge, the innovations that we are doing with a lot more people, so that we can actually delve into how much of those are scalable, usable, feasible for a large number of people all around us. A very warm welcome once again. Just to give you an introduction of the platform, this is a bilingual platform, so you can either use English or Hindi, any of the two languages within the whole interaction. If you choose to use a third language, the only problem, I won't get it. But still you can use it, but try using out of these two. And a very small request again, try to keep your audio on mute when you're not speaking. When it's your time to speak, you can unmute yourself. This is a timed platform, so we'll try to finish it within the next 40 to 50 minutes that we have with all of you. And so that none of your schedules get disturbed, all of you will get to speak for at least 3.5, 4 minutes. And once your time is over, you might get muted. If you get muted, please don't get offended. It is just to finish the whole activity on time, and so that you actually enjoy the flavor and the engagement that we have in the next 30 minutes. तो अब अगले कुछ 30-40 मिनट में हम जो बातचीत करेंगे, उस सारी बातचीत का मोटिव बहुत सिंपल सा है कि अगर आप कुछ ऐसा कर रहे हैं जिससे बहुत लोग आपसे कुछ सीख सकते हैं, तो वो बताइए. इट्स टाइम टू इंस्पायर. ब्लब वर्ल्ड एज अ मैगजीन का बड़ा सिंपल सा मोटो है that we work on a simple concept of teens inspiring teens. हम हर महीने पूरे दुनिया भर में ऐसे टीनेजर्स ढूंढते हैं जो कि बहुत कुछ अच्छा कर रहे हैं, and we showcase their stories for other teens. Till date, we have showcased nearly 300 such teenagers from across the world, from different countries. So we will be today talking from all of you and trying to understand that how do you think that education will change or is changing, and more specifically, what do you think will be the skills of the future or for the future. इस off और for में बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है. Off में तो वो skills हैं जो आपको सीखनी होंगी, और for में वो है जो आप बच्चों को सिखाएंगी. So try to get into what will be the skills of the future and the skills for the future. So I hope you enjoy the next 30-40 minutes that you have with us. अभी तक हम लोग जितने कॉल्स करते थे उसमें नॉर्मली एक कॉल में 10 से 15 स्कूल लीडर्स और स्पीकर्स होते थे, बट उसमें हमेशा टाइम की बहुत कमी रहती थी. तो इसलिए हमने आज से थोड़ा सा फॉर्मेट चेंज किया है, जहां पे हमने थोड़े से कम स्कूल लीडर्स और थोड़े से कम स्पीकर्स बुलाए हैं, ताकि सब जनों को बोलने का मौका मिल जाए. क्योंकि एक बहुत बड़ी शिकायत कंटिन्यूस हर कॉल में रही है कि बोलने के लिए टाइम बहुत कम मिलता है. तो बट वील ट्राई टू गिव यू मैक्सिमम टाइम एज मच एज पॉसिबल. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट लिसनिंग फ्रॉम द पीपल हु कैन गिव अस अ बर्ड्स आई व्यू, जो एक्चुअली K-12 सेक्टर के बाहर से आते हैं, जो स्कूल्स को बाहर से देखते हैं, सर्विस करते हैं, या उनके लिए कोई ना कोई किसी न किसी तरीके का सोल्यूशन बिल्ड करते हैं. एंड देन वील एक्चुअली गो टू द प्रैक्टिशनर्स जो हर दिन उस लड़ाई को वर्चुअल क्लासेस में, अपने वर्चुअल स्कूल्स में हर रोज लड़ रहे हैं. So let me invite the first speaker for today to speak on skills for the future, Ms. Nalini Harith, who's the co-founder and director for Campus 45 Private Limited from Mumbai, Maharashtra. Nalini ji, over to you for the next 4 minutes to set the context of this talk and give us a perspective into what you think will be the skills for the future. A very warm welcome. Over to you for the next 4 minutes.
Thank you, Daksh. I must say this is a great initiative from Blub World to connect educators across the globe. Greetings to all the speakers and viewers. I'm Nalini Harith, co-founder and director of Campus 45 Private Limited. Our role in the education ecosystem is to assist schools to proactively identify risks, build comprehensive and customized security plans, and ensure mitigation of risk. Our main objective is to bring about a culture change through our safety programs. So we have seen during this pandemic, the challenges that we've been facing have made it clear that the blueprint for a new era of safety is in the making. And it will strengthen how we approach safety, health, and security, not only in the normal course of events, but also during times of crisis. So I think we are all in agreement with all these things that yes, it's a pandemic and it has created some more opportunities. There couldn't have been a more opportune time to introduce the long-awaited reforms in the education sector. The National Education Policy is a welcome move at a time like this. And it does emphasize on ensuring safety and security of students along with vocational learning at an early age and learning of life skills. So we need to empower our students to become responsible digital citizens and engage online safely. So I'll say digital literacy skills are some of the most crucial skills required in current times. Personal safety education has become the need of the hour due to the extensive exposure to internet. Therefore, safety trainings, safety audits in schools become a critical aspect that should be endorsed by every school on resumption. Schools must conduct regular workshops, safety drills, trainings, sessions for both staff and students to keep them updated on the safety requirements. And here I must applaud the efforts put in by our teachers. As they've adapted to the change in the medium of delivery, overnight it has happened. Seamlessly continued educating. That's what they have done. And I think the management too has a vital role to play to successfully emerge from the current crisis. They must ensure to nurture their employees, adaptability, resilience, cognitive, digital skill sets. All these are skill sets that our management must nurture their employees. As we talk about embracing a new set of skills, it is also important to understand that we need to develop an attitude that accepts change. Accepting this new phase and being open to diverse opportunities will be the key to the future. This is definitely the time to assess, reskill, upskill, and eventually train all our stakeholders. I think one needs tech savviness. You need to be comfortable with the tech tools and work with them effectively. Emotional intelligence. Individuals with strong EQ will be coveted across industries. Data literacy. Let's talk about data literacy. Huge data is amassed on a daily basis. This data as such could be useless unless there is data literacy. I want to face constantly growing student performance data, be it the assignments, the various tests or essays that are delivered. They will need to become adept at using tech tools to analyze that information. A recent study by McKinsey predicts that in the next 10 years, up to 1/3 of all the work activities could be completely replaced because of automation. Look at how augmented and virtual reality have already seeped into our lives. So Internet of Things, it will be omnipresent. The Internet will truly become global. So I think conventional approaches are no longer sufficient. These new skills are what is needed as we are in an age of rapid technological progress. We need to be prepared and we need to upskill our students, our teams, ourselves. All possible skill sets are currently required. And I think, as Daksh mentioned, that yes, looking at the skills of the future is what we need to actually focus on today. Thank you, Daksh. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Nalini ji. To summarize what all you said, that you basically work in the field of risk management and trying to contain that risk, whether it's safety, whether it's security for that school and for institutions. And with that, we can actually understand कि अब उसकी relevance और ज़्यादा बड़ी हो गई है with the kind of physical distancing that we need and the kind of COVID safety norms that we'll have to follow. बहुत नए perspective से इन चीज़ों का implementation अब schools में और पूरे ecosystem में हमारे आसपास होगा. And when we talk of the new education policy that has come in or the new national education policy, उसने दो ही चीज़ों पर stress दिया है. सबसे बड़ा वो है being multilingual, going back to the India pride कि हम एटलीस्ट हमारी पढ़ाई रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस में या रीजनल नहीं तो इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस में करना शुरू करें. बिकॉज इफ वी टॉक ऑफ द इंडियन ब्रेन जिसकी पढ़ाई नर्सरी प्री नर्सरी से की जाती है, तो उसमें एक बहुत बड़ा स्किल जो बिल्ड किया जाता है वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स का नहीं होता है, वो ट्रांसलेशन का होता है. बिकॉज द कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर टॉट इन इंग्लिश and English is not our mother tongue. तो हम लोग हर कॉन्सेप्ट को ट्रांसलेट करने में बहुत एफर्ट लगाते हैं rather than understanding that. And I think actually understanding the pride of Indian point and going back to being much more multilingual would be very, very beneficial for the whole ecosystem. And digital literacy now important, personal safety, regular auditing of schools on different aspects. This is again something going to be very important now because kyunki the kind of implementation and new policies that have come in, you will need a lot of external people helping schools at different points of time. Reskilling, emotional intelligence, data literacy. Data literacy is something very important कि आप कहाँ कौन सा अपना डेटा किसको दे रहे हैं, इसको बार करना बहुत जरूरी है और ये बच्चों को सिखाना बहुत जरूरी है कि आप जब पूरी तरीके से डिजिटल हो गए हैं तो उस पॉइंट पे हाउ डू यू कीप योरसेल्फ सेफ. डिजिटल सैनिटी एंड डिजिटल सेफ्टी, ये दोनों चीजें बच्चों को सिखानी होंगी. एंड ऑटोमेशन ईटिंग अवे आवर जॉब्स, दैट्स एब्सोल्युटली देयर. एंड आई थिंक हम लोगों को एक नया आप कह सकते हैं वेइंग स्केल मिल गया है टू टेस्ट द स्किल दैट वेदर यू नीड टू टीच अ स्किल और नॉट इज वेरी सिंपल नाउ. दैट इफ टेक्नोलॉजी कैन डू इट, डोंट टीच इट. If tech cannot do it, only then teach it. So you now have to become much more human in trying to build the kind of skilling projects, skilling curriculums that you need in schools, because now the only factor that will keep you above technology is the human factor. So let's be much, much more human when we now teach and go back to it. Thank you so much, Nalini ji. Now it's time to listen to the real practice. There are two sides of the picture when we look at anything. भले ही वो सरकारी पॉलिसी हो, हमारे observations या normal life, two things, there is an is and there is a. तो हम जो है हमेशा विजनरी से सुन लेते हैं कि भाई होना क्या चाहिए और ऑट में कितना गैप है और ये कितनी जल्दी ब्रिज हो जाएगा. So let's now try to understand what is the real thing that's going on in classes every day. Just to share an observation, अगर हम आज देखें तो हर स्कूल की जो पॉपुलेशन है या जो हर स्कूल की साइज है वो क्वाड्रपल हो गई है, 4 गुना हो गई है. अगर आपकी क्लास में पहले 20 बच्चे थे या 25 बच्चे थे तो करीबन करीबन आपकी क्लास में 70 से 100 लोग हैं इन एवरी क्लासरूम दैट यू आर देयर इन, बिकॉज शायद बच्चा है, उसका कोई फ्रेंड है या कोई भाई है या पेरेंट्स है. So now the school is no more teaching just the students, you are now teaching the whole community around you. तो जैसे कोविड के डिजीज हॉटस्पॉट्स थे, स्कूल्स आने वाले समय में हमारी सोसाइटी के लिए इम्यूनिटी हॉटस्पॉट्स बनेंगे. So the role of the school has drastically and dramatically changed. So let's see what the practitioners have to say on this and what do they think and how do they think will education change in the coming times. So let me now invite the next speaker for today, Srivastav, International Public School, Bengaluru, Karnataka. Sunita ma'am, over to you for the next 4 minutes on skills for the future. A very warm welcome. Please unmute your audio.
Thank you so much. A very interesting topic, innovation in education, skills for the future. Greetings to everyone. I would like to present something to you which I had written in 2017. The same topic, it was published in Times of India, developing core skills important. And the same thing was published in one of the magazines also, the skills to be developed. So I'll be highlighting some of the points which are there, and I would like to connect with NEP document here. I believe 9 core skills are very, very important at school level. And I would like to highlight those things. Communication skills. Communication skills, it's not about just talking. It is talking, looking at your audience, what type of audience you're speaking to, whether they are able to understand English or regional language, as Mr. Gaur was telling. And you should be flexible enough to understand your audience and talk. You should not use a lot of jargons, which whatever you want to communicate, that is not ultimately communicated. And one of the important components of communication skills is listening. That is almost forgotten. We keep on speaking and we don't even bother whether the person is listening or not. Or if somebody is speaking, we interrupt in between. Even that is not appropriate. So these are some of the components of communication skills. Next, if I talk about decision-making and analytical skills, one should develop this attitude and aptitude at the school level itself. Decision making starts even from the kindergarten, we should give the options to the children and allow them to decide. For example, whether they would like to go for games during rainy season or not. If not, why? So these questions will install inquiry-based learning also. Apart from that, analytical skills. If the students are trained in analytical skills, they will be able to distinguish between the right and the wrong, and they will be able to select the right one. And the students who are equipped with analytical skills, they will be able to handle shaky moments in their future life. Coming to the problems solving skills, what is happening is our family is getting very shrinked one. That's the reason most of the time parents are pampering the children. So before the problem approaches the children, parents are ready to solve them. By this, students are not exposed to solving the problems. At school level, we should give the problems and we should facilitate them to solve the problems by themselves, which will also enhance to face the failures with a lot of dignity. Coming to global citizenship. Our children, we don't know where they will be working. So we should allow them to respect all the cultures and traditions and the way the people practice. It broadens the horizon. At the same time, our India is known for Vishwamanav, which was propagated by Swami Vivekananda and other eminent personalities. So that kind of feeling activities should be included at the school level. Team players. Definitely the school is the hotspot where the children will be learning team activities, collaborative activities, and with that, they will be able to understand what the other person thinks and how to cooperate. A lot of values are instilled by this activity too. Then leadership and entrepreneurial attitude can also be included. And when I was heading K-12, 2 years before, we had organized a kind of fair where students had prepared their own innovative products and they launched it. And the same amount, whatever the amount was collected, it was given to the students' fund. The next core skill, what I believe, is mindfulness. Our life is so much cluttered. Unless and until mindfulness is practiced, we will be disturbed. And handling too many things or multitasking, which was in vogue a few years back, it is no more in practice. Focusing on one particular thing is the best way to develop the cognitive abilities also. So mindfulness is very, very important. And then emotional intelligence. With the invent of gadgets and other tools, students are so much involved that the personal interaction is somewhere missing. Instead of talking to people, the emojis are more applied. So we should inculcate that mindfulness in students. Coming to NEP document, what is there in NEP document? When it comes to pedagogy, it is about experiential learning, holistic, integrated, inquiry-driven, discovery-oriented, learner-centered. We talk about discussion-based, flexible, enjoyable. So I would like to, in short, I would like to tell what we are doing in this direction. So experiential learning, instead of telling the students in science classes, you have to plant trees, you should not cut trees. Instead of that, on Vana Mahotsava Day last year, we made the students to create vegetable patch in our campus. They sow the seeds and afterwards they saw how the plant came out, and fruitation was distributed among the people who are working there. Support staffs were given that.
Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am. The time was over. We'll try to come back to you. To summarize what all you said, developing core skills is important and something that you already published quite some time back in some of the publications, and your ideas are finding relevance even now. And not just relevance, they're finding priority right now for a lot of people. Understanding the audience in communication skills is very, very important. Communication skill को हम केवल ऐसा one way communication समझते हैं that our content being delivered to the listener, which is not communication. Communication only completes once we get a feedback from the audience as well. So पूरा cycle को जीना is very important. Listening skills in communication, decision making, analytical skills, again very important. Giving choice to students. बच्चों को अलग अलग सिनेरियोस के अंदर रख के उन्हें चॉइसेस देना एंड देन letting them make some decisions is very important again. Problem solving, getting challenged in nuclear families. जब जॉइंट फैमिलीज, बड़ी फैमिलीज थी तो बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी प्रॉब्लम्स होती थी जिनके लिए या तो एडजस्ट करना होता है या सोल्यूशन ढूंढना होता था, वो अब नहीं है. ग्लोबल सिटीजनशिप या विश्व मानव, जो स्वामी विवेकानंद ने कहा, दैट गोइंग बियॉन्ड whatever kind of limitations that you think, whatever kind of differences you think, and understanding and relating to people as people and becoming a people's person is very very important in the coming times. क्योंकि हमें नहीं पता कौन किस देश में, कहाँ, किस ज्योग्राफी में, किन लोगों के साथ और किस कल्चर में काम कर रहा होगा. So we don't know that. So we have to be much more empathetic and much more inclusive. Next is being a team player, leadership and entrepreneurial attitude, which is very very important in the coming times because बहुत सारे jobs अब खत्म हैं और वो वापस पैदा भी होंगे कि नहीं हमें नहीं पता, because everything that is redundant in life will go away. So we'll have to find much more of entrepreneurs around all of us. And mindfulness, very very important. इस समय पर जब हम अपने घरों पे इतने समय तक बंद थे, there was a lot of anxiety that happened. There's a lot of stress that we all had. So we must know how to manage that and be able to survive that. And multitasking is now obsolete. Absolutely. अब हमें multi नहीं, monotaskers चाहिए जो एक चीज को बहुत अच्छे से with all the focus कर सकें. And finally, emotional intelligence. So इसके बाद भी आप कुछ बोल रहे थे, but you were not able to finish. So we have some at the end we have an open slot. Then we'll try to again come back to you and get your thoughts. Next, I would like to invite the next speaker for today, Mr. Dr. Mir Muntazir Mehdi, who's the principal of Zain Public School from Alipur, Bengaluru, Karnataka. So Mir Muntazir ji, over to you for the next 4 minutes. Please unmute your audio.
Very good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
As I understood the concept about that, like skills for the future, skills of future and for future. So let me tell you that here in this area where I am, this is the area which is actually around 80 kilometers away. We run a group of schools with ICSE and CBSE and State Board. So if I talk about those people who are not in the STE, what would be the skills for them in future is like, yet the decision-making skills are missing with them. Yes, as ma'am said about communication skills, and you had also like say critical thinking, and you have also like problem solving and all those things, which is at sometimes you may have to come up and teach the students. That's why I remember that CBSE has one curriculum in which they have a book called Life Skills. So if we try to develop life skills not only as a subject, but we teach maths as a life skills, we teach say science as a life skills, we try to do that social as a life skills, maybe some change will occur. For example, when we have an environment day, you in the schools have this similarly, we can connect the students with the actual thing which is required. There's a reason today in this era where the students say that what is the trigonometry required for? Why do we need such kind of things which we are not, which is not connecting to our future? So that is actually alarming. The new academic policy has made so many changes. At the same time, these changes, as we appreciate, these changes are somewhere which have been found that this is what youth is requiring. So the skills for the future at most important things would be like say how a child will be able to communicate with his parents, his teacher, because there is communication not only missing between say student and the teacher, but also at sometimes I have seen that like say communication is missing entirely between a parent, like say some parents are like those who have been totally busy. They have never, I asked one child that have you kissed the say, have you kissed your father? Have you kissed your hand of your father? He says no, because his father is in Bangkok from long 5 years. So this is where actually, which is also alarming. So when we talk about skills, we have to talk about those skills which are real life skills. So it's not only about like say, I appreciate this idea that communication skills, problem solving skills, but also some life skills which are required at the end of the day. You may have like say jobless youth. What is the reason? Because skills with them are not which would make them able to fight for that for survival. There's a reason we have like say so many jobless people in India still. Although we have so many industries, we have education is growing and communication sectors are growing. Still the jobless people are those who have like say, who have big degrees, like they have MPhil, they have PhD, they apply for like say simple peon post in when it is a government job, when it comes to government job. What is lagging behind is actually the skills. So the future skills would be, I would say, real life skills, anything which is connecting to the life, may it be communication, may it be problem solving, may it be critical thinking, may it be creative thinking, all that, like what I feel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mir Montuzi. Yes, India में unemployment बढ़ता जा रहा है and education भी grow करती जा रही है. So it is something paradoxical that we need to understand and actually delve our intelligences into to understand कि क्या हम सही पढ़ा रहे हैं, and rather than सही, are we teaching what is needed? So need-based analysis, yeah, need analysis, and finally creating a curriculum around that is much more important. And I think that NEP has actually done that. कि काफी हद तक उन्होंने उसको बाजार से या मार्केट से कोरिलेट कर दिया है with the kind of opportunities we'll be having and a much bigger stress on vocational education or skilling, because skills अब बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा role play करेंगी, because more importantly when we need information, जो कि अभी तक हर education का epicenter होता था, giving the information to the student, सूचना शिक्षा का केंद्र होती थी in the modern education system, but अब ऐसा नहीं है. Because information is available with Google. What you need is skills. भले वो decision making हो, critical thinking हो या कुछ भी हो, information is no more the epicenter of education. So now mugging up या याद रखना बहुत critical नहीं होने वाला है in the coming times, and we hope so. So thank you so much, Mir Montuzi ji. Let me now invite the next speaker for today, Mrs. Pratima Srivastav, Principal, Vidyasagar School, Bengaluru, Karnataka. Pratima ma'am, over to you for the next 4 minutes. Please unmute your audio. A very warm welcome. And let's hear your perspective on what will be the skills for the future.
Thank you so much, Daksh. First of all, I would like to congratulate BlubbWorld for this wonderful initiative, fantastic initiative. So, and greetings to all my fellow educators. It was a pleasure listening to all of you. Most of the things being covered by, of course, told by the educators, because I feel we all belong to the same community and we all think some way the same way. So as we all know, these days we all, I mean, the entire humankind is facing this unprecedented revolution. All our old stories are crumbling and no new story has so far emerged to replace. How can we, transformations and these radical uncertainties? Just imagine a baby born today will be 30, sometimes in 2050. And what kind of skills will they need in order to get a job? Understand, I mean, like, what is happening around them and, how they will be able to navigate the maze of life. So, and what is the purpose of education then? What we are doing with them? The education is supposed to be to prepare you for the future. I mean, what we keep discussing when we sit in a group, like the challenges that our kids will face will be much different from those we faced when we were growing up. The same way things a typical student learns in school today will no longer be relevant by the time he or she graduates the college. In fact, a study at University of Oxford has found that 47% of today's jobs will be eliminated over the next 20 years. So in next 10 or 20 years, much of what we know about the world will no longer be true. So of course, I'm not trying to say the skills we teach in school are useless, certainly not. But these are not sufficient enough. It's not enough there is no enough focus on critical skills and all the list of the things what Mrs. Srivastava has actually already quoted so many skills. Of course, I agree that these critical skills needed to achieve success in the workplace of the future, and not only workplace, as a human being, where we expect our children to go a little more deeper, because there's a famous saying we all know, the deeper the roots, the greater the fruits. So how we can help our children to go a little more deeper, to grow, higher and higher. So it's no longer about getting A grade or B grade in maths or English. Of course, these things has its own relevance, but we are trying to understand it in a better way and how we can help our children. So to survive in such a world, what a teacher needs, that's another challenge. Now our teachers are also trained in such a way with the old education system. They need, the required mental flexibility. It's not there. So teachers also, they need to change, adapt the changes. I'm very happy looking at my teachers. I mean, I'm sure all the teachers, they are, accepting the changes. They're learning the technology very fast. So in such a world, the last thing a teacher needs to give her pupils is more, it's not at all about the information, as Daksh, you were quoting just now. I completely agree with you. They already have far too much of it. Instead, people need the ability to make sense of information, tell the difference between what is important and what is unimportant, and above all, to combine many bits of information into a broad picture of the world, joining the dots. If somebody describes the world of mid-21st century to me, it doesn't sound like science fiction. I'll say it's certainly false. You know what I'm trying to say? So as I told you, I just quoted that the teachers, they need flexibility. And the problem I see is that the traditional school system was not designed to equip children with these skills. All the standardized tests are more appropriate to create, the factory approach. We all are aware about it. So in my opinion, kids today, they need to learn less about how things are today, more about the systems future technologies will be based on, such as quantum dynamics, genetics, logic of codes. One thing that I was reading somewhere, the economists have consistently found it, that it is, the routine jobs that are most likely to be automated. And the best way to prepare for the future is to develop the ability to learn and adapt. As Ms. Nalini also has quoted, we have to learn how to adapt. And not only the children, we as educators, I mean, adults, or, as leading the teachers these days, the group right now we are, discussing, we need to be flexible enough, because it is difficult for an adult brain. It's like reconnecting neurons, rewiring your entire mechanism. It's a hard work, definitely. But trust me, not afford stability. If you try to hold on to some stable identity or a job or a worldview, you risk being behind, left behind as the world flies away. We have to help or guide our children to train their mind to stay relevant. And this is to sum up. One thing about technology I would like to quote: technology is not bad. Of course, it's a wonderful gift. But if you know what you want in life, technology can help you get it. But if you don't know what you want in life, it will be all too easy for technology to shape your aims for you and take a control of your life. Especially as technology gets better at understanding humans, you might increasingly find yourself serving it instead of it serving you. So I feel we all should promote creativity, curiosity, problem solving, make it a fun thing, problem solving, and let them fail and try out different possibilities. I think the next generation of children will need to create jobs, not just seek jobs. I think my time is up. Daksh, I could see you. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Pratima ma'am. To again summarize what you said, and आपने एक बहुत important aspect पे अभी पूरे discussion का focus shift किया, and I would like to really mention it and talk a little bit about it. We as humans बिलीव, और हम लोगों का जो ब्रेन है उसका काम करने का तरीका इज ऑलवेज वेर वी ट्राई टू मेक पैटर्न्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग. हमारे पास जितनी इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है हम उसका कोई एक कॉज इफेक्ट रिलेशनशिप बनाने की कोशिश करते रहते हैं हर समय. एंड दैट्स वेयर लर्निंग टिपिकली हैपेंस. Once you're able to establish a cause and effect relationship, that's where you start learning. And the most easiest way to develop a pattern in your brain and to give you a cause and effect relationship is to tell you a story. And हम लोगों की जितनी old time stories हैं वो अभी अपना काम नहीं कर पा रही हैं because the world has dramatically changed. So we now need new stories to replace them. और वो नई stories लिखने वाले हमारे पास है नहीं, because the people and the kind of generation that we have around us is not ready and not innovative enough or not creative enough that it's ready to challenge the norms. हम उससे थोड़े से डरे हुए ज्यादा हैं शायद, and वो डर अब निकल रहा है with the pandemic being there, because we as a society are facing an existential crisis. तो हम हर चीज से लड़ रहे हैं, अपने हर डर से लड़ रहे हैं, अपने हर ब्लॉक को पार कर रहे हैं. So a very important point that we now need new stories to replace the old ones so that the learning happens at a much better pace. Challenges that our future generations will face will be absolutely, different from what we have ever imagined. And एक बात जो आपने कही, that our future would typically be very close to science fiction. जो हमें अभी fiction लगता है वो आगे reality हो जाना चाहिए कुछ समय के अंदर, because the pace of change is very fast. And as humans, it's not easy to keep pace with it. वो थोड़ा सा difficult हो रहा है. And skills we are teaching need to be re-evaluated. कि क्या ये स्किल्स आप बच्चे को किस वजह से दे रहे हैं? Is it for his economic stability? Is it for his learning ability? Is it for his adaptability? Is it for his flexibility? Skilling का भी objective आपको बार बार define करना होगा कि वो हो रहा है कि नहीं, and so that you can evaluate whether learning outcomes actually meet the objective. The future is much closer to science fiction. Schools were made to feed factories and not societies. And now we need to again revamp the system to feed societies. क्योंकि अब जब हमें समाज बनाना है, so the kind of human being that we need is going to be different and not the way that it is right now. Tech is a help and not an objective. This is something very important. With the kind and in the pace which technology will grow and take control of things, it is very important that we understand that it always is a servant to us and not vice versa. Because if that happens, it will be a big blunder that we will be doing to our own life and to the society at large. So in the last 20 minutes that we have spent with each other, we have tried to know what your perspectives were on skills of the future. ये सारी skills implementation में या execution में India में तब आ पाएंगी when regulation or policy or legislation changes for it or pushes for it. Because वैसे तो education India में business नहीं है, and that's a constitutional subject कि हम as education हमेशा not for profit रहेंगे. But if we look at it from a different perspective, from an external view, तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि इंडिया में एजुकेशन सबसे रेगुलेटेड बिजनेस है. ये इकलौता ऐसा बिजनेस है जिसपे पॉलिसी हमें रेवेन्यू एंड पे भी गवर्न करती है, एक्सपेंस एंड पे भी गवर्न करती है, ऑपरेशन एंड पे भी गवर्न करती है. अगर आप नॉर्मल बिजनेस भी करेंगे तो उसमें आपकी गवर्नेंस जो है टैक्स एंड पे होगी, उसके अलावा नहीं होगी बहुत ज्यादा. बट एजुकेशन में तो हर लेवल पे रेगुलेशन है. So let me have your closing thoughts in quick 60 seconds from each one of you on what do you think has the NEP done or did justice to the kind of needs that we have in the coming times. क्या वो कर दिया है या नहीं हुआ है? And the most important part of it, the elephant of the Indian education system is not very easy to move. So would it move with this policy, and will we be able to make him run, jog, or walk? Let me hear it from you. And a quick 60-minute concluding statement. Any one of you can start on whether the NEP will be able to achieve it. So whoever wants to take, you can open your audio. It's an open floor right now for the next 2 or 3 minutes. So whoever wants to weigh in, you can actually open your audio and speak out.
Yeah.
Fine, Sen. Okay.
Yeah. Pratima, ma'am? Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't realize. No, you please carry on, Sunita ji. No, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Pratima, ma'am, and Mr. Gaur. Yeah, NEP, when we talk about NEP and trying to connect with the topic you have posed us, definitely we are moving ahead. Only thing is, the government can make a policy who has to implement that? It is ultimately we, the educators, along with all the stakeholders, implement it. Unless and until we take a step forward, nothing is going to be fruitful. And in that factor, I can completely say that I can call our school as a progressive school. We have implemented all those skills which have been mentioned in the NEP document, and some of the skills, of course, we need to do it. And in the coming years, definitely we will take it forward and make this NEP very real one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am. Over to Pratima ma'am for the concluding thoughts.
Yeah, that's great, Ms. Sunita. Nice to hear that you already started working on it. So I would say, as Daksh used the word elephant, I like the word elephant. So we have to make it a wise elephant, actually. So I feel NEP, the way it is being planned, it is wonderful, because one of my school, we were practicing couple of things what is already being given in NEP. If you have heard about the integral education, so in Oro schools especially they practice. So most of the things we had been practicing, but in a different way, of course, in a different cover, because we do integral education there. So what I'm trying to say, I feel NEP is a very foolproof plan. If you look at it as a plan, it's a foolproof plan. Now the challenge here is how to elaborate and execute. That's the two most important thing, and that comes to everything. It's very easy. I'm sorry, I'm using the word easy. It's very easy to plan and give it to you, point by point. Now, when they said 5, 3, 3, 4, the first challenge comes with the 5. And it's really challenging. And I was discussing with my group also, 5 itself is the biggest challenge. Why? In quick 3 seconds, if I have to tell you, the teachers so far, they are only going ahead with whatever, the pre-primary syllabus and all that, what they do. But now, and there will be no exam till grade 2. So the child will be reaching till grade 2 without any test, exam, or maybe some internal assessment or observation. The moment child will come to grade 3, nobody will be having, there will be nobody who will be taking the responsibility how much the child knows in grade 3 until and unless the school authorities are not taking some internal, test or some kind of, the child is eligible to go to the 3rd grade, because from 3rd grade, the test or exams will start. So that's what I'm trying to say. The policy is foolproof, but to elaborate and execution is challenging. And if we will not do it judiciously, again, it might go for a toss. I'm not trying to be negative, but let us be realistic. That's what I strongly feel.
Absolutely. The policy is a very detailed plan, and हर plan का एक problem होता है कि plan और execution में हमेशा एक फर्क होता है, and उस फर्क को bridge करने की कोशिश हर कोई कर रहा होता है with their own efforts, with their own policies and executions. And the problem with the Indian complete education sector is कि हम लोग, अगर आप education का employment का तरीका देखेंगे, education का funding का तरीका देखेंगे, तो हर एक के अंदर आप देखेंगे that we are at the bottom of the pyramid. हमारे पास pyramid का top talent नहीं होता है, school में भी नहीं होता है, in teachers में भी नहीं होता है, and even financially भी नहीं होता है. That we're not sitting on a pile of money that has been there to be spent. So execution becomes a challenge at many levels. It becomes a challenge at policy, it becomes a challenge at leadership, it becomes a challenge at execution. And so now what we have to know is how would we move this elephant? और ये जो policy आ गई है, इसके executor order की हम इंतजार करेंगे, या we already have a plan that will put them to all of our students or our teachers. So, Mir Muntazir ji, if you want to give some concluding statements, last 60 seconds for you, and then we'll move on to Nalini ma'am. Muntazir ji, over to you.
Thank you so much. As the question is about the new education policy, I would like to say every time when we understand as an educationist, man has two attitudes. Either it is towards goodness or it is towards badness. So when it comes to education is always preferred that when once a learner is like who has always put his step towards a goodness. Learning something, maybe math, science, language, it means a step towards goodness. So this policy has actually put a balance between those customs which we had created as educationists. For example, I remember North India and South India. South India is saying that in Karnataka, Kannada should be compulsory, and more compulsory than the Hindi. So there was always language ka difference hota tha. Like say sometimes it was a conflict. Students used to shuffle. 1 year I have seen in one school, 1 year Kannada was first language, second year Hindi was first language, third year something else was first language. So students at the end of the day were confused, like what I have learned now after 10 years, 13 years, neither he was able to speak Kannada, nor he was able to speak Hindi, nor like say whatever local language he had preferred. So this is actually what has been, which would be a good thing, which we'll be able to balance. But as everyone said, it would be at the end of the day, depending on how we work on it, how we utilize this policy and how we execute it, because it has been scientifically made. There is a proper research which they have done, a good time quality, like say minds and works have been given on this. Now it is upon like say educationists, schools, education system, how they follow it, because always I have seen usually the problem which starts, it starts between like say, it starts always by the education, conflict in the education comes from the education system. For example, there are the schools who are focusing more on A1s, like they say, we have the results, exceptional results. We have 90% holders, 100% holders. So this becomes sometimes also a problem where we are not able to consider those people who are like say slow learners, who have something like say dyslexia, dysgraphia. These people are like say always lost. They will come only in the movies like Tare Zameen Par or somewhere. So we have to understand this education policy is for everyone, and we have to collectively work together and always analyze ourselves, do analysis that are we correctly doing it or not. Maybe sometimes it can be like say, we are trying our best to do something, but at the end of the day, something else happens. That would be my closing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And एक बहुत important चीज है, हम लोगों का जो पूरा आप कह सकते हैं कि societal benchmarking है, वो बहुत negative है. हम लोग रिजेक्शन मोड पे काम कर रहे होते हैं और नेगेटिव बेंचमार्किंग पे काम कर रहे होते हैं कि अगर आप ये नंबर पार कर गए तो यू आर गुड इनफ, इफ नहीं पार कर गए तो यू आर बैड इनफ. तो हमें उस नेगेटिव बेंचमार्किंग माइंडसेट से पॉजिटिव बेंचमार्किंग माइंडसेट की तरफ शिफ्ट होना होगा, एंड दैट विल टेक सम मोर टाइम आई थिंक. सो लेट्स नाउ हैव द कंक्लूडिंग थॉट्स ऑफ नलिनी मैम ऑन हाउ डू यू थिंक विद योर पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ स्कूल सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी, या आपको क्या लगता है कि किस तरीके से एनईपी आपको इनेबल करेगी या डिसेबल करेगी, या स्कूल को किस स्टेट में ले जाके खड़ा करेगी आने वाले 2 या 3 सालों में. बिकॉज इंडिया ने बहुत सारे पॉलिसी चेंजेस देखे हैं. एजुकेशन पॉलिसी जो है वो बहुत समय बाद आई, ऐसा कह रहे हैं अराउंड 34 इयर्स बाद. बट ऐसा आप भी मुझसे शायद एग्री करेंगे कि भले एक कंबाइंड बड़ी सी पॉलिसी नहीं आई 34 सालों में, लेकिन उनके बीच में बहुत सारे स्पीड ब्रेकर्स आ गए. जैसे सीसीई आ गया, फिर चला गया, काफी सारी चीजें की गई. बट यस, उसका कोई एक कंबाइंड पॉजिटिव बड़ा मॉन्यूमेंटल फर्क नहीं हो पाया. सो वी नाउ हैव टू थिंक that what do we actually want to achieve out of it. So let me have the concluding thoughts of Nalini ma'am on how does she think that NEP will impact the schools.
Thank you, Daksh, again. So talking about skills, I think I'm in complete agreement. As Dr. Mir Mehdi said, that he mentioned of real life skills that are really a must. And also like Mrs. Sunita Srivastava said, she talks about mindfulness. And then as we talk about the way Pratima Srivastava described, she talks about teacher flexibility. They need to be skilled up, and that flexibility for teachers is a must. So I think it's been more than 5 months since the schools across India have been closed. So can you imagine around 32 crore students have been affected due to this uncertainty over reopening of schools. So I think that this lockdown hence has basically accelerated adoption of digital technology. But the bigger challenge or the bigger opportunity we have today is not only providing access to digital education, but also supporting people catch up with it. So I think that's a big challenge we have. And I'm looking forward basically to the Digital India vision of the government that is emerging as a vital instrument for solving the present crisis. Yes, digitalization is becoming a way of life. The way personalization tools have been used in shopping experiences, why not use the same in education? Wouldn't it be wonderful that if we use these technological tools and tap a child's potential and assist them navigate towards their goal, like all our educators today on the forum we're talking about. The rising generation, yes, today's generation is brought up on the internet. It's a very differently motivated team to learn. So we need to involve them, ask them. I think we should take their feedback and ask them what changes have been observed with the existing programs and implement their feedback. Their thinking is creative, and I think it's innovative, and it's not bound by years of assumption and biases. So Daksh, in closing, I would strongly urge that we focus on leadership programs, empowering students to improve school safety, strengthen social and emotional skills of our teams to ensure effective collaboration, self-expression, and management. And as we discussed earlier, I think digital literacy skills are some of the most crucial skills required. Our teachers in the current times have created huge amount of content, and that should be available as high quality, shareable online learning resources repository. So yes, we all recognize that today each and every stakeholder is making tough choices. So let's scale up, support each other. It brews positivity and excitement, of course, coupled with challenges. But I think that's what motivates us. So thanks to all the esteemed speakers. It has been a very enlightening session. And thank you, Blub World, for hosting this session and giving me the opportunity to participate in this forum. Thank you, Daksh.
Thank you so much, Nalini. Before this talk comes to an end, I just want to leave you all with some good food for thought, so that when we meet next, there's something more interesting to talk about. If you look at history, और इतने समय का ह्यूमन रेस का आप इतिहास देखेंगे तो आप एक चीज महसूस करेंगे कि it happens very, very rarely that the society around you is ready to listen. और ऐसा केवल तब होता है when we as a community face an existential crisis. And अभी exactly वही हो रहा है. So this is the perfect time to experiment. So if you ever wanted to do anything in education, this is the time to do it. क्योंकि अगर आप कुछ करेंगे तो आपके पेरेंट्स, आपके बच्चे, आपके टीचर्स, सब जने उसे सुनेंगे और उसे एक्सपेरिमेंट करने की कोशिश करेंगे. और ऐसा ह्यूमन रेस में बहुत बार नहीं हुआ है. So don't lose this opportunity. And at the same time, try building a habit of writing an observation paper every single evening. भले ही 200-250 words लिखिए, लेकिन लिखिए. Because that will create the knowledge bank that the world would need in the future. Because that's the base of innovation, is observation. तो आप अगर ऑब्जर्व करते रहेंगे तो आप शायद भूल जाएं, लेकिन वो कागज पन्ना नहीं भूलेगा. एंड दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एट दिस पॉइंट, क्योंकि शायद आपकी फ्यूचर जनरेशन आपसे यही पूछ रही होंगी कि जब आपने कुछ नहीं करना था तब आप क्या कर रहे थे. सो बिफोर वी फाइनली कंक्लूड दिस टॉक, अ स्मॉल लिटिल स्टोरी फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू, जो ब्लब का कोर पर्पस है, दैट कम्स फ्रॉम द रियल स्पिरिट ऑफ ब्लब वर्ल्ड. देयर इज अ 13-year-old गर्ल in Australia, in Melbourne, who was homeschooled, never went to school, studied herself, had her first painting show at the age of 2, had a sold out gallery exhibit in New York at the age of 4, was invited by one of the most respected museums in Europe for a painting expo at the age of 9. She right now earns in millions and is only 13-year-old. And that's the cover page of Blub World last month. And that's Elita Andre, who's a professional painter and right now is making in millions. And the reason why I'm sharing this and where this whole thing comes up is very simple. कि अब केवल teaching काम नहीं कर पाएगी. You'll have to go beyond teaching and you will have to inspire. So I hope you enjoyed the last 30-40 minutes that you spent with us. Thank you so much for participating. If you enjoyed and if you want to be a part of the future sessions, you can open your audio, say a big yes. And thank you so much for being a part of Blub World Web Talk 86.
Thank you very much, Daksh sir. Thank you so much. This is really an amazing session. And to all the speakers, it was definitely a wonderful session. Thank you so very much. I got a chance to just click it immediately on the link which Sunita ma'am has shared. Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am. If you would have not shared it on LinkedIn, I would have never got a chance to spend so beautiful 40 minutes. This complete session was really and insightful. I myself is an educationist and I truly support the Reliant India. I definitely have learned a lot in this very 40 minutes. This was really insightful. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for participating. Thank you.
It is my pleasure, ma'am. It is definitely my pleasure.
Thank you. So this is the time to end. I hope you enjoyed and I hope it was a pleasant experience for all of you.
Definitely. Namaskar.
Thank you, Daksh.
Thank you.